Hey, welcome to the Cigar Room Show. First and foremost, I want to say how much I appreciate Stock the Bar Premium Vodka and Cerebella Essentials. Thank you for your continued support of the Cigar Room Show. And for those of you out there that share and repost and post just on my behalf, I really appreciate your continued support of the Cigar Room Show. And I really thank you. And for those of you out there that would like me to showcase your brand, business, or service on this show, please let me know. Inbox me at either one of my pages at the Cigar Room Show on Instagram or Facebook. Please hit the link in the bio for the YouTube page. Please become a subscriber. I need your support, and I hope that you enjoy the content. So today I'm going to talk about your goals demanding more from you than you've probably been giving it. So a lot of people will go and make a goal, and that's great. You made a goal, and initially you're talking about it, you're speaking it, claiming it, and then eventually you get into some work. You get to doing some work. Now, at this point, I always want to ask someone, hey, the work you're doing, is it just you kind of just figuring it out, or is it you're applying what you researched? There's a difference. Some people, they have to kind of walk in the dark a little bit, because you may be doing something that someone hasn't did before and showed you the blueprint or put it out there. That isn't enough information that people are privy to, maybe at your entry level place that you're at. That some people come in at this, whatever respectfully you're doing, they have a higher amount of finances that they're coming in with, and it's a lot more strategic for them. They can't just buy in on something. The investment is a lot less, so they have to have a lot better strategy. Or you come in and you're learning, but let's just say your time isn't available to you like that, and it's a lot harder for you. So with the time allotted to you, you try to make the best of it at different points, but sometimes life gets the best of you, and that's understandable. So, but for those of you that are walking in the dark, it's got to come to a point where through trial and error, you learn that you keep an understanding that you're trying to learn. You're not just trying things, you're trying to learn. Keep a focus that you're trying to learn. Don't just do things and then because you put in work that you feel like you're closer to your goal. Well, your goal may demand more from you than you're actually contributing to it. There's a space in there when you're first beginning something, whatever it may be. Rather it be you physically trying to get yourself together, rather it be mentally you trying to get yourself together, rather you're providing a brand, business, or service, rather you're starting something, whatever it may be new. There's a period where potentially you will be walking in the dark, but there is a time where you have to make sure you analyze what you've been doing and how you've been applying yourself. The way you've been applying yourself, are you making sure you're keeping an understanding? I'm trying to learn. Making mistakes happen. Failing at moments happens. Feeling a little bit incompetent. Doing things and having that moment in inadequacy. That happens. But those are your make it or break it moments. Are they going to make you? Are they going to create character in you? Or is it going to break you? It's going to break parts of you where you give up. You give up and then you're like, I'll just pick back up and I'm going to wait for the perfect time and all that. Listen, I understand that a lot of people, the timing wasn't appropriate for them at certain times. I get it. But most times, there is no real perfect time. There's a small majority of people that have that space where it was really the right time for them. But there's really no perfect time. There's just only moments you could take hold of and to try to capture momentum. Now, there's a time for momentum. There's a time when certain things just kind of happen back to back to back, where momentum is your best friend at that moment. But it was like, now we got some things going, and this happened now, and this happened, and this happened. And then things kind of avalanche for you. Now, that at that point is going to take you to sustain your momentum. And at that point, your goals are still going to demand more from you. Now, some of you just haven't did the research. You're just going in because of what you see. You're going in because of what you thought it was. You're not doing any real research. Not real research, where maybe you found this or found that, but actually what it takes to develop it. That kind of research. Like, okay, I needed this to get to this point. Then after so much time, what goal did you give yourself to be at a certain different space? Be honest. Let's say you gave yourself a month. Okay, a month from now, I'm going to have this established. And then say, for instance, you do it in 25 days. Great. Now you got to create a new goal. But a lot of times, people will play the waiting game. I'm waiting for the right time. Things just need to align for me, or just this, that, and the other. It's fine. You can keep doing that. Your goals do not care about your excuses. They don't. Goals are where they're at. You're where you're at for a reason, and you keep being where you're at for a reason. Because you're not understanding your goal demands more than you've been giving it. How often do you find yourself in a space where you're constantly just trying to figure it out? There's only so much figuring it out. And think about everything that I'm saying. It's all around the mental game, the mental ping pong that you play. Consistency changes the circumstances. When are you going to start to be consistent, not just in your thinking, but in your work? How often are you putting in work? Now, for those of you out there with social media, if you think putting in work is constantly posting, you've got it wrong. I'm sorry, you do. Now, people could say it's just my opinion, and that's fine. We'll see. Just posting and giving people visuals of what you actually provide, that's one thing. Actually putting in the work to put it out there, that's a whole nother. There's points and places where you can actually put in certain work where it could be smart work versus hard work. There's certain places where you got to politic a little bit better. There's certain things where you got to set up to draw attention to what you're doing. And what are you doing? Some people, they're so, they get likes, they get comments, they get shares, and that's great. But if you think a customer base is created off that, a real one? No. Not a sustainable one. No. It's going to take you contributing to your actual work at a higher pace, at a higher frequency, because the one that was before, a lot of people are doing it. If you find yourself doing the same amount of work as everyone else, you're never going to stand out, ever. If you find yourself doing the same one-trick pony, you will find yourself in the same space. Now, you may think, oh, I did this or did that, but you didn't go anywhere. Not according to maybe what your goals were. Your goals are going to demand more from you. It's going to demand a sacrifice. I found out, years ago, every great reward requires a great sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? There's things that you're going to have to sacrifice to get closer to your goals. A lot of people is going to make making your time a lot more valuable. How much do you value your time? How much do you value your time, and how much value do you place on whatever you're doing within that time? How bad do you really want it? See, these questions you got to ask yourself. And you think to yourself, like, I'm just in the same place. I ain't really doing anything. I'm not. Figure out ways to create momentum for yourself. Figure out ways to create momentum for yourself. What are you doing to stand out? Be honest with yourself. What are you really doing to stand out? If you're not doing anything to stand out, there's no momentum that's going to be created for your respective anything that you're contributing to. You're not standing out. You're not doing anything to put yourself out there. Which your goal, at that point, you got to realize your goal is demanding more from you. That's why you're still in the place you are. Your goal has demanded more from you and you're not giving to it. So you're going to stay in the same place. That's just all there's to it. It's going to demand more from you. It's going to demand you doing something that's uncomfortable. I hear people say a lot, you want to get to a comfortable space, you got to be uncomfortable for a little bit. Try a lot. Try being uncomfortable a lot, where you have to sacrifice your comfortability to be at a different space. And then it's going to take things from you that you didn't think you were going to have to sacrifice potentially. But that's what it demands. If that's something you're trying to do. Now, if you just want to lay in the cut and you don't really want to do anything, that's fine. That's up to you. That's up to you. But in reality, for those people out there who really want to break the mold, they really want to do something fascinating, they really want to make something really happen in their lives and tired of the same old, your goals are going to demand more from you. That's why you're still in the place you're at. You weren't willing to give to that demand. So you find yourself in a space where you're constantly fighting yourself mentally, constantly frustrated, constantly trying to figure it out. But listen, draw a line in the sand. You've made some mistakes. Hey, listen, I've been there. I've made mistakes. I've made decisions that hurt me. I've made judgment calls that weren't the best. But one thing it is, I'm not scared to fail. I'm scared to not try. I got to keep trying. I got to keep applying myself. I fail until I succeed. This is a journey I'm on. I'm not just trying to get down the street. I'm trying to go all around and trying to figure out what's the best situation for me to apply myself to at the current time. Then I pivot and make a new goal, pivot and make a new goal, pivot and make a new goal. And while I'm here, I'm doing anything and everything I can to make a better impact, because personally, that's what I wanted to do at this point. I want to make an impact. I want to help other people. I want to help create spaces where I can give opportunity. There's nothing like it. Me personally, I don't think about being wealthy financially just by currency. I think about being wealthy in opportunity. How much opportunity can come through? How much opportunity is in the avenues that I'm creating? And all the financial stuff, that'll come. It's just that at that point, I have to be responsible for it, because I have to contribute and have to give to people who I've created an opportunity for. I have to create payrolls. I have to, it's going to be an organization at that point, to whatever multitude of organizations I decide to have. But I got to be responsible for that. I got to be accountable for that. So I want to create an avenue of opportunities. For those of you out there that's on the same page, salute to y'all, because that takes a lot. What I'm doing right now is demanding of me. What I'm contributing myself to is demanding of me. Your goals are going to demand more from you. Now, maybe you're ready. Maybe you're ready to drive, go. There's nothing stopping you in your mind. But then your support system. How are they supporting you? Now, some people aren't exactly ready for that. And some of those people might be your own kids who can't even comprehend what you're doing. They just know that you're gone a lot. They just know that you're doing this a lot. There have been guests on here on this show and talked about how they had to set time aside and designate time to their family, designate time to their loved ones, designate time for themselves. And listen, respectfully, if that's what you got to do, great. So do that. If that's going to help you, do that. But the thing about it is, for those of you that know you got to put your legs on the ground and run, and you got to just go hard, Those kind of people that know that, like, for this period of time, I just have to go. I have to. For those people, I understand. So trying to get your support system on board, that isn't going to be as easy. Some people, hey, they got it. They got people that's like, you know what, we believe in you. We want what's best for you. And we want you to do this because we know you can. And just let us know what we can do to support you and help you. Some people have to understand that sometimes they're not the driver on this specific part of the journey. And there's people who can help you with that. But for those of you out there, understand something. It's going to demand of you. You feel like something is a void, something's off, something's missing. Go back to the resources that helped you develop this mindset in the first place. That could get out and self-drive and go hard mentality. The same resources that helped you develop that mindset and it kept you in constant development. Go back to those resources. Do not leave them alone. Take more of it in. Take more of that good energy in. Take some more of that advice that you've been getting from certain people in and help you pivot and make sure that you're making the most quality decision in each movement that you make. Once again, you may fail at different points, but do not be scared to fail. Be scared to not try. Try again. Try harder. Because your goals are going to demand more from you. Think about it. What is the reason why you keep being where you're at? You think it's just not the right time? No, most of you, it's not because it's just not the right time. It's because you're not understanding yet that your goals are demanding more than you've been giving. Your goals are going to continue to demand more from you because you're giving the least amount of effort. You may take a pic and make it look like this, and you're doing this and make it look like you're putting in real work, but you're not. You know the work that you're putting in when nobody's watching. You know the sacrifices that you're making when nobody's looking. You know that if you keep giving the bare minimum, a lot of people think they're going to get a lot out of a little. No. Well, you try to get the most out of the least. That's how employers think about their employees. Try to get the most out of the least amount of employees. Then we get the high profit. No. Not for you, it's not. Not for a self-employed individual. No. Nope. It's going to take a lot from you. It's going to take a lot more than you've been trying to give to it. Your goals are going to demand more from you than you've been giving. And listen, and I'm not trying to get on nobody's case because everything I'm saying on this show is all the things I say to myself on a daily. On a daily, I have to remind myself of this. I have to constantly contribute to my goals. What am I trying to do? Who's counting on me? Who's holding me accountable to this? So understand something. Your goals are going to demand more from you. Understand that. Stop being mediocre about something that you want that's magnificent. Stop it. Stop. You're playing yourself. And some of you out there, you're sitting on something that's going to change everything in your life and other people's lives and your community. I don't want you to lose that. I don't know who it is I may be speaking to. I don't want you to lose that. I want you to understand exactly how valuable you really are. Don't pay attention to those people that try to minimize you because you failed or why you in the certain things that you did. And don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the goal at hand and understand that same goal, that same dream, that same thing you wanted to do. All it's asking you to do is give me more so I can give you everything. But it's going to demand of you. It really is. It's going to demand of you. And it's going to be you. It's going to be you. And you're going to break that generational curse. You're going to break those bonds that's been on your family, those things that hindered you or hurt you and you and your loved ones. You might be the exact person that's going to break it because you did something that was so great that now people can't pay attention to the foolishness because we all fed. We all getting things together. Envy comes with it. People who feel insecure around you comes with it. It does. So you'll see those people. You'll see them, and it may hurt you at different points. Once again, it's just another make it or break it moment. Did it build character in you? Like, okay, I know how to filter that in or out. I know how to make sure how to deal with that, how to understand it. And when it comes to that, read books about that. Read information, learn information about how to deal with that. All this information is already out there because there's plenty of people that already did whatever we're trying to do. Even if you're coming up with a new invention that's going to shake the world, it's been people before you that created inventions that shook the world. And they got the information that they went through, and then you could use it, draw from different places. But what I could tell you, for those of you that are stagnant, those of you that are complacent, those of you that are not sure what's going to happen next, and maybe you're thinking that, oh, maybe this ain't meant to be. And if it shall be, then it will be. It will come back around to me. No. If you're not willing to get out there and actually gain an understanding of what your real goal is, you will stay in the same place for a long time until you finally give up. Don't be a statistic. Don't be one of the ones where they talk about the over 90% of ones that fail within the first 2 years, all that different stuff, because you didn't want to take in information and knowledge that was given out to the world to learn how to sustain. But to get back on the horse, understand something. Your goal is going to demand more from you than you've been giving. Be honest with yourself. You've been giving a lot less to your goals than you really could have. You've been giving a lot less. You could have been given more. But you made decisions along the way that kept you in a space where you didn't go anywhere. Be honest with yourself. Your goals are going to demand more from you than you've been giving. Go out there and make it happen. I'm hoping the best for each and every one of you. Possible is only reserved for those that persevere. What have you persevered to see what's possible? Hope everyone out there has a blessed and prosperous week. From the Cigar Room, thank